Good morning and welcome to the EZFX Trading Room broadcast for September 29th, 2016, Thursday morning. My name is Bradley Freed, and I'll be walking you through a review of our watch list from yesterday. We're going to update the list. We're going to look at any open trades. We're going to look at any potential trade setups, especially things that we're going to start keeping an eye on for next week. As I mentioned the last 2 days, I was concerned that we just weren't seeing the win percentage with the new trades we set up for the week, even though they were valid setups. So I backed off of taking as many trades. I'm currently in 3 trades that have been sent out as signals. These are our remaining open trades from the week. And I decided not to take any more trades, even though we've had a series of valid setups. And I'll get a little bit more into that as we look into the charts. I think the concern is still there. There's something that's messing with our setups that's standing in the way of them doing what we expect them to do, and I just suspect it's a lot of volatility. It's a lot of problems, especially with things like Deutsche Bank and other things, which are creating uncertainty around European currencies and the markets. But I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into our broadcast. First, let's review the watch list from yesterday. We aren't watching anything right now as of yesterday. Our new and open trades are as follows, and I did introduce several trades that I didn't take as signals, but I thought these were valid setups yesterday, and we'll see how those are doing. We had an Aussie dollar buy trend trade. That was new yesterday. Pound dollar buy was new. The pound Aussie buy was new, and the euro pound sell was new. Our open trades are the pound yen buy, pound Swiss buy, and pound New Zealand buy, and we're going to update all of those. So let's go ahead and go over the charts and do that. We'll start taking a look and seeing what's going on with our list. Okay, so starting at the top, let's look at this Aussie dollar buy trend trade. We saw a second breakout above the former zone here, and then a third breakout here. And this was really our entry signal. It did make a higher high. It immediately showed an opposite class A signal, and it's retraced down. I think it'll probably go higher. So my instinct, since it just started before it formed this signal here, I'd be to just hold on to it and see if we can get even higher. I think this trend is probably going to continue. If you look at the daily chart, we've been on an uptrend. Actually, probably the 4-hour chart is a better one to see. We've been on this uptrend for a while, and I think it can at least get to this zone here, if not to the next zone, before it's going to end. And hopefully this retracement will go so deep that it stops out. Hopefully it'll get some momentum and start moving. That's really the tricky thing with these trades. If you can get past this initial step when you're close to the stop and it starts to trend, then you can just hit your first target, move the stop, break even, just let it ride. But this is the tricky part. This is where you can get stopped out by volatility. This is where the trade can end very quickly. So that's it's one of the reasons I probably don't trend trade as much as I could, but I have done this many times very profitably, and this could end up working out. So I would hold on to it at this point, and we'll still call it new because you can still get in this. If you're not in this yet, do wait for it to close again above the old zone. This line we drew here at 0.76734. Wait for a close above that before you get in the trade. It would be my only advice. You want some confirmation that it's still going to break out above that zone and hopefully move further. All right, next we have a pound dollar buy. This was another pound trade that's set up, and this, it broke above this trend line here, and then it dropped below. It's kind of moving sideways. It did make a higher high. It's dropped back down. Now it's rising again. This may just drop down and hit the stop level, but it looks okay right now. I mean, this is kind of what we look for. The only thing we didn't get is a buy bubble recently. We had a sell bubble, then no bubble. Triangular moving average color change, trend line break, higher high, higher lows. So it's trending. It's not really just ranging, it is trending. If we can break out and get higher highs and start moving towards our initial profit target at the Fibonacci 50% retracement level, then I think we may have something here. But the way these pairs have been behaving, we had a breakout here, dropped, stop out, dropped and stopped out. And so I'm not quite trusting these setups, but this may work out this time. So hopefully it will. Anyway, that's open. And I'll still call it new because you can probably still get into that from a risk to reward ratio perspective. And you could get into that at any time. I don't see it being invalidated. I don't think you have to wait for any specific confirmation to go ahead and get in that. The pound Aussie buy is the next one. This one, I redrew the trend line again. It broke out, dropped again, broke out again. This is a valid signal still. It didn't stop out after we talked yesterday, even though it kind of broke out and then dropped again. And it's making a higher high here. So this is potentially trending. It's potentially starting to break out that would move towards the direction of our profit targets. I've been stopped out by this twice in the last 2 weeks, so I'm just staying away from it. But it looks all right. And to be honest, if this is still a valid setup next week, I'll probably take it again. But I'm not going to do it this week for the reasons I've been talking about the last couple of days. So that is also open. And it's also new. You can still get in that. There's still a good risk to reward ratio on that setup. Next, we have a euro pound sell. And this has been kind of a wacky ride too. This did break below our trend line here that I drew under this trend. And it's made lower lows and left some long wicks. So it from the look of it, just looking at these candles, it looks like it wants to break down and then it reverses and leaves these long wicks. So it's very likely that this could do either. It doesn't appear to be something that is going to break down effortlessly. There's a lot of resistance about this pair on both sides, both the buy and the sell side. So I'm not trading this. It is an open trade. It's a trade that, if you're using fib targets, you'd have a stop at the recent high, say 102 pips. It's 98 to the monthly pivot. We said 61.8 would be our initial profit target at 134. Final profit target at 78.6, or this weekly pivot here for 180. And it's currently open. It's currently set up and trading in open, and you can still get in it. So we'll still call it new because you can still get in. So let's move on into our actual open signal trades, the things that I'm actually trading live in my account. One is a pound Swiss buy. This broke out, moved higher. It's been bouncing along this weekly pivot, which has kind of been resistance, and it's dropped a little bit again. I'm still holding on to this. I'm still hoping that the pound is going to break out higher and we're going to get to this initial profit target. I have no reason to change or to close this position at this time. So this is open and we're continuing to hold the position. The pound yen has done pretty nicely. It made a higher high, it dropped. It looks like it wants to try for another higher high. We do have a sell bubble here. So there may be some downward retracement. Sell bubble right here. And we'll just see what happens. At this point, I see no reason to change what we're doing. And we'll just keep things where they are for now with an initial profit target at the monthly pivot, final profit target at there's a weekly pivot up here at 136.4307. That's our plan. Next, we have the pound newsy. This got so close to getting to this initial profit target yesterday, and then it dropped. And now it seems to be mounting that assault one more time. Hopefully this time it'll get there, and we can take some profit this week on at least one trade and move our stop to break even, and then just continue to follow the plan and see if we can get to the final profit target up here at this monthly pivot at 1.8144. So that's where we're at right now. It's been a busy week, but I purposely backed off just because we had the serious string of losses. It really just felt like the system wasn't working. And once you've traded a system for a while, you can just kind of tell that you're not getting the response that you normally get. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. It's not behaving like you expect it to do. And you have a valid setup. The win percentage suddenly drops. So that's where we are. I'm expecting, of course, that the win percentage will return. It always does. It has for the last year and a half I've been trading this method. So we'll just wait it out. What we're doing by kind of sitting out and backing off is we're minimizing a drawdown. We're not going to dig a hole for ourselves and take another 6 or 7 losses in a single week and draw down another 7% that we have to recover. We'll let the market kind of start showing us again that it's ready to do what we expect it to do, and then we'll get back in a little bit more aggressive. And I will, if I find trades and setups over the weekend on Monday, I will give it a go again. If there's things that are ready to set up, we'll try again, test the week, see what the response is. If it's the same, I may back off again, because sometimes these things can go on for a few weeks. But the important thing is not to dig a hole. Minimizing our losses is as important or more important than making profits long term, because the more losses you take, especially if you get into a retrading frenzy or a drawdown and you keep trading and get aggressive and emotional, you can do more damage to your profits than you can by not taking a trade that turns out to be a winner. And that's just a fact of trading. All right, so that's all the updates I have for now. I'm going to jump over to the trading room, see if we have any questions. I don't think we had anybody attending live last time I checked. We don't. If you have questions, though, you can go to the community, go to groups. If you haven't already signed up for it, sign up for the trading room group. And when you sign up and click in that group, you can post your question here. And you can also post a chart by clicking this button. You could even post a music file if you want to share music. I don't know why you would want to do that, but write your update, post your update, and myself or another member of the community will be happy to read your post, contribute our thoughts, answer any questions you might have. Also, if you want to send me a private message, we also have a private message feature here. Just go to members on the community menu. Find me, I'm EZFX, and I'll have a private message button on my profile icon. And you can click that and send me a private message. Or, as always, there's good old-fashioned email. You can send me a message at ezfxsignal@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have about trading and about what we're doing and trades you're setting up. If you have things you want to run by me as far as trade ideas or charts, or you're having an issue with your broker or with MetaTrader or indicators or anything like that, feel free to ask me questions. I'll do my best to help you and to answer your questions in a timely manner. Thanks very much for watching this Trading Room broadcast update. We'll be back on Monday with a brand new broadcast. I should have a new market analysis report ready for you on Sunday. I'll be sending out the link to our members. And I'll have updates for any signals that, anything that we have open that gets updated, I'll be sure to send those out to you guys. I have updated the blog. The only thing I haven't updated on the signals blog is the closed trades for the week. So I'm going to try to get caught up with that today or tonight, and then we should be all up to date. It was kind of a frenzy of trades. I'm looking into automating the blog updating so that it doesn't take quite so much time, and so that I can focus on creating and sending the signals and have everything else be automated. But at this point in time, I have to do it manually, so it takes a little bit more time. Good talking to you guys. I hope you've done well this week, and we'll be looking to do better next week, hopefully. And thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.